Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Summits. I'm Dr. Ruth Anderson with Enlightened World, and welcome to the second week of the Sunday Summits, Holiday Edition. These shows take place every Sunday through December 29th, where we'll have a beautiful spirit-inspired closing ceremony of light. If you love the holidays, please join us. If you avoid the holidays, please join us. We are a safe spiritual community of folks that connect in with the spiritual divinity and connect in with each other to provide a comfortable place of welcoming and acceptance and possibility. So thank you for being here. Tonight, we have Living Authentically, Shining Magnificently Even Through Fear. And toward the end of the evening, we'll have sound healing and a mantra meditation. So I'd like to introduce to you our speakers for tonight. So Anayah Joi Holilly, Niobe Weaver, and Teri Angel. Can you all just come on and say hi for a quick minute?
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Good evening.
Thrilled to have these women here with us, and we're just going to jump in. We've got a lot to cover tonight. So let's start with Niobe. What does the term the holidays bring up for you?
Memories, good memories from childhood on the holidays, and really even into adulthood. A lot of fun, and when my children, I loved it. But as my kids grew up, it's been a really good experience until recently. They're all grown up, and I'm single. So now it's a time of, even though I'm going to see them, I'm going to be seeing them in Seattle this year. However, what I'm discovering is the holidays is up to me. What do I want to create now? How do I want to experience these instead of being sad and missing was? I have a whole new opportunity of how do I want to create the holidays for myself now?
Great. And, before we move on to Anayah or Teri, we're going to stop and do our intention for tonight. So Deb Goldberg is going to share intention. Thank you, Deb.
You're welcome. Oh, our intention today is that Divine Mother will embrace us with loving guidance to help us explore our authentic self, feeling into our sense of being worthy to be heard as we speak our truths. With this powerful inner guidance from Spirit, we can acknowledge our individual and collective presence and know that what we think, say, and do matters. We call on our wonderful angelic support of Archangel Raphael to protect and heal us as we use our words to shine out our message of love. Love heals. Love bonds us together into the oneness of all that is. God's spirit of love and grace provides wholeness within each person's uniqueness, and that gives you authentic freedom, knowing you are enough and valued, even when you experience fear. May you truly feel into that warmth and safety that is offered in this place tonight and explore with us your authentic voice. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Deb. So Teri Angel, can you share with us, what does the term the holidays bring up for you?
Ruth, it has evolved for me. I didn't have the most pleasant childhood, so I don't have childhood memories of the Hallmark Christmas, with gatherings and the Christmas tree and presents. But as I aged and grew more familiar with what the season was all about, a season of giving, a season of compassion, and really bonding with others, I look forward to that. There have been years where I didn't. It was kind of like a love-hate relationship. Whatever was happening to me, I would like totally shut out the holidays. No, I'm not going to celebrate this year. So I'm at the point now where I really enjoy just being in the energy of the holidays. I don't care if I don't get presents. I don't care if I don't have, a big meal. It's just being able to associate with others and let others know what I feel, and being able to speak up and say what I feel about the holidays and how I want to, like kind of like Niobe, how do I want to create the experience in my life? Because now it's just me. I've been there where it was family and chaos, and I actually love it now that I can have that control to do what I want to do, to go if I want to go, or just to sit home if that's what I choose to do. So the holidays to me are a time of creativity and a time to really look at the meaning, the true meaning of what it's all about. That's where I am now.
Well, and I'm wishing I could invite you to my house, Teri, for Christmas if you're looking for a place to go. And I know Deb is shaking her head. You can go to Deb's house too, if you want. If you want to be with folks, not be by yourself, please come over. So, Anayah, what are the holidays?
Oh, you're right, Niobe?
No, we're losing
Hugs. Wow, the holidays are a kind of a mixed bag for me at the moment. Traditionally, for me, the holidays have been so full of excitement. Lots of big family, lots of, some people might call it chaos. I've always loved having all my family around me. Then a couple of years ago with my dad when he made his passing, and then very quickly my mum, and then the loss of another family member, I kind of fell into a bit of a hole, and I felt like I just didn't know how to be happy. And it was really amazing, actually, because Christmas Day came and we set a place for those who weren't with us. And we created really beautiful little vignettes with flowers and photos. And what that did for me was that made me realize that my sadness about it was okay. Didn't have to be happy all the time, and I could still really enjoy a different kind of Christmas, a different kind of family celebration. And so this year, lots of family are away, and so it's just going to be 5 of us. And it was kind of like, oh, it's not going to be a very good Christmas. That was my first initial thought, right? And then I was like, I don't know why I'm thinking that, because I have people I love that I'm going to spend it with. So it's choice. It's about choice for me. It's brought up opportunities for me to choose what feels really good and connected to me, instead of looking at the past and feeling like it has to be that way forever. So it is a really amazing time right now to step out of the shadow of what I've created, that self-imposed, it's got to be this way or it's not going to be any good, that I'd created without realizing it. So Christmas for me is about giving thanks and experiencing joy for what actually is, and for what isn't, to be really grateful for everything that I've experienced there, and just to release it, which has taken a lot. It sounds really easy when I say it now, but it's taken me a lot. And it's the willingness. I've come home to willingness, whereas I was in that push and shove. I want it to be the other way. It can't be this way. It was just so uncomfortable. So choice and willingness, and celebrating the real reason for me, which is loving my fellow man, those that are with us, those that aren't, and extending that love in my heart to everyone else.
Beautiful. Thank you. So you all are very passionate about the topic tonight, about living authentically and shining magnificently even when you're afraid. So what was it that prompted you all to come up with this topic?
I think it was talking about the holidays, because we were talking, it kind of morphed in, it kind of just came about of speaking up. You know, we were talking about speaking up for yourself, but it is a thing around the holidays. It's you don't find your voice. You're not able to find your voice. And I think part of it is I brought up a thing about being able to speak up, you know, or to speak authentically, be myself in a work situation, a toxic work environment. And then it kind of morphed on from there. Isn't that what we did, ladies? Something like that?
And it really flowed so beautifully, Niobe, because as we started to share with one another, I had something to say, Teri had something to say, and we just really had that connection together. And before we knew it, the title was like on the table, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really was. And, you know, although I no longer have a work environment, I haven't been in an actual office in almost 20 years now. But I remember when I was, and there was a lot of pressure around the holidays. Do you all feel that? I mean, it's like there's always the talk around the water cooler, you know, about what you're doing for the holidays, what, you know, whose house are you going to? What are you know, what decorations do you have? How's your Christmas tree? And so there was a lot of pressure when you're in that environment to really speak up, you know, for yourself. If you don't want to go to that office party, let's say, you know, and everybody else is like, well, you've got to go, you know, or your boss is telling you you've got to go, and you really don't feel it. How do you handle that? Yeah. You know, there's that fear of really what other people are going to think about you. And that's just one scenario, but there's many scenarios where we feel pressured into doing things that we don't really want to do. So it's that living authentically and saying, I really don't want to do that. And sometimes it can be hard. Sometimes those words get stuck in your throat because you're looking on the outside of you at who are you interacting with and what are they thinking about what you're saying or what you're doing.
And there's also for me that sense of, it wasn't an office situation, but I felt like going along to get along has always been one of my, you know, go-tos, if you will. And it's been really important for me to allow myself to make choices and decisions based upon how I feel. Again, it sounds really super easy when you say it. But over the years, making those small choices has been really important for me. And there have been factors in the day that while I may not have felt really great about it, it was really good actually coming to a point of understanding I didn't have to change it. I just had to be okay with how I felt about it. You know what I mean?
And that's empowering.
Yeah, it really is. And it then opened up doors for me to see a bigger picture actually and enjoy it from a whole new perspective.
So what about our friends who are in a big family situation? I'm thinking of Ivana right now, who is in a large Italian family. There's a lot of expectations for Christmas Eve, you're going to be here. Christmas Day, you're going to be here. Christmas night, you're going to be somewhere else. And you're expected to do presents for not only your kids, but for the brother's kids and the sister's kids and the whole extended family. What do y'all think about that when there's all of these familial expectations on you as well?
What's coming from me when you started talking about this kind of a circumstance is you can authentically empower yourself by speaking your truth, as saying, and it's the way we put it a lot of times. It's the way we say it. It's the way we offer it over, the way someone can hear it. And it's like, I would love to be there. However, what I'm able to do this year is I can be there Christmas Eve and, you know, all these presents and everything like that. And it's like, well, I'm getting one gift for each family instead of everybody gets this individual gift. Everybody gets, get one gift per family that they can enjoy. And if they don't like it, that's not your problem. And it's also if they can't accept, oh, but you have to be there. You have to be there. And then it's a thing of, well, I'm just not feeling up to it. I'm just not feeling up to it. I'm just, you know, I'm not been well lately, and I really need to take care of myself and my own energy. I would love to be there, but this is what I can do. And if they want to push more, this is what I can do. They want to push more. I hear that you love me and you really want me there, but this is what I can do. And you just keep coming back to that authentic, this is what I can do. This is what I can do. And if they, you know, and then it's like, if, you know, I'm sorry you can't accept that this is what I can do, but I love you and I will miss you. See, I'll miss seeing you. There you go. That's what comes from me right in this moment of something of, because there has been that. I mean, I can remember driving from Paulsboro, Washington, around the Sound to Federal Way on a horrible, rainy Christmas Eve night to go be with my partner's family. And it was like, and by the time we got home, and the kids were, but we were exhausted because it was perilous driving that night. It wasn't snowing, but it was rain and it was cold. And then it was like, because everybody was over there. And so we talked about, okay, how can we save ourselves from not doing this next year? Because, you know, in some forms, the weather was it was dangerous for us to be out like that.
Well, and it seems to me that a lot of times other people are thinking the same thing you are. And they're just wishing that somebody would have the guts to say, why don't we do a family gift instead of for all of the kids this year? I think sometimes it's just you being the brave one to put it out on the table.
Yeah, and I love the way you explained that. And it's really, it goes back to that saying, self first is not selfish. You took care of yourself first. And that's what we all have to realize. If we don't take care of us, then we have nothing to give to anybody else, you know, in any way. So we have to take care of us.
And we can really begin setting this up through the year as well, you know. It can be a conversation that can be introduced very casually through the year. You know, I've been thinking about Christmas this year, and I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'll let you know when I figured out what that is for me. And so instead of a great big conversation, it becomes little bits. And it gives people time to digest, especially if they're feeling, if you don't do it, you're going to wreck it for everyone, because that is a very big pressure when we're talking about friends and family. So for me, introducing it a little bit at a time actually takes the pressure off me as well, because I'm that sort of person, honestly. I can say, right, this is what I want to do, and then I see someone's face and I just want to cave. It's like, oh, I just can't do it. So learning to do it a different way has been key for me. Little things like, you know, if I would, I could, but I'm sorry, I just can't. For me, it's heartfelt. It's expressing where I'm at. I'm not making promises I don't want to keep or don't feel I can keep. But the biggest trick for that was, for me, is to not say another word. Because if I do, I'll backtrack. So they're kind of little things that I found that work for me. And actually helpful. And I feel it's loving for me to find ways that I can give in a way that I feel really connected to, instead of giving in a way that comes from my head and my fear, from my ego, basically.
Yeah, because it's the ego that brings up the fear.
Yeah.
And fear and love can't reside at the same time. So if we're coming from that place of love, like you said, Anayah, then there really isn't anything to fear, because we're thinking, how can I take care of me and accommodate what others want, which is a piece of me, you know? And I remember that was one of the biggest arguments that I had in my marriage, was I didn't want to disappoint the in-laws, and they were wanting us to be there at Christmas always. So, you know, I never spoke up. I was very young and I didn't speak up. And I didn't say, I really would like to spend Christmas with my family. You know, so yeah, we have that tendency to swallow the words that we want to say to please others, or not to, I think somebody said it, to muddle the water, you know, to keep the peace. And that's where the fear comes from, is outside of us.
And to be okay with a little bit of fallout, you know, like when I very first started doing this, I began to realize that actually there may very well be some fallout. And I had to make a decision beforehand. Okay, what are my thoughts about that? How do I feel about that? And I actually created some key statements for myself, kind of like, and put them in a little filing system in my head somewhere. So when it happened, I didn't just go from the gut and go, oh, I'm really sorry, I'll do whatever you want, you know? Oh, that sounds really great. Oh, I can't wait. Because really that wasn't how I was feeling. And so now it makes so much difference. And it's beyond the holidays, isn't it? These are strategies we can use in our lives for everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
And sometimes it feels difficult, but it's like, I don't know, there's a saying, but I can't quite get my head around it. But it's like, if once we take those first few painful steps, we then figure out how to get off that path and walk in a way that's so much easier and gentler and feels so much better for us.
And is it okay if someone's not happy with you?
It actually is.
Yeah.
There's, but it is.
It is. I mean, you can like it or lump it. This is where it's at. This is my choice, and it's, you know, it's up to them to deal with how they are reacting, and their choice of how their response to what the piece of me I can or cannot give of myself to them. And it's, you know, and there has been, I mean, I have, you know, outside of the holidays, there's been, oh, come on, Niobe, you can do it. Oh, come on, you know, and it's like, no, I'm, you know, I have a friend, we've known each other for over 40 years. And she has this way of like, you know, you can tell her no. And then she's like, oh, and then it's like a 3-time thing. It's always like a three kind of thing that I have to go through. Oh, you can come by for dinner. It's like, no, I got to get up early. And then it's like, oh, but just, you come by for just a little bit. And it was like, well, and it's always a third, and there's 3 with her. And then she accepts it and she's fine. But that is the way it has always been with her. Because this woman loves people. She loves to have people in her home. She likes to cook. She likes to party. She likes to have that sense of festivity. And so it's, I mean, I watched her do it to her daughter. Oh, come on. You two can come on by, you know, and it's like, he's just been driving for 6 hours, but that's okay. No, you can come on by. No, that's okay, Mom. Well, are you sure? Yeah, Mom. So, it's, I mean, she was, when I first, was learning about that is her MO. And then I got so used to it. And she will always say, oh, that's okay. And she's never not okay with it. But it's it's put that oxygen mask on yourself first. Then because if we don't, then we don't have any energy. We don't have any energy to really give to other people. And then it starts showing up in our lives. It starts showing up in our personality. We start getting resentful. We start getting tired. We start getting ill. But a lot of times it starts to boil up in us as getting resentful, angry, grumpy, grouchy, just crabby. And it's like you've not taken care of yourself. You know, the pump is running dry. You can't do that. You've got to be able to keep yourself filled up.
And don't you find too, I used to be more of a people pleaser than I am now. Okay. And don't you find that the more you people please, you really lose sight of what you want, of who you are. And, what does matter to me? So you just kind of, float along trying to make everybody happy. And, I had to really come to that realization. I have to take care of me. I have to do some things that I want to do. And that's when, things start really getting more clear about my worthiness. And I'm worthy to make a choice. I deserve to do the things I want to do. And, we're going to do that meditation later on in this broadcast, but we want everybody to know that you're worthy to speak up. You're worthy to say what it is you say, to say yes if you want to say yes, or say no if you want to say no. And feel that fear that goes along with that the first time that you do it. Feel it, but then stick to your guns. I think I heard you, Anayah, say that, you might waver if you don't stop talking about it. And I understand that because I've been there. It's like you have to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to say this, and then I don't know what's going to happen, but do it anyway.
It's a muscle, isn't it, Teri? It's a muscle. The more I find, and it's amazing. And sometimes I'll say something now, and part of me goes, wow, that is so great. You knew exactly what you wanted to say. So it's a muscle, learning to exercise that muscle, the right to say no, and coming to the understanding that we're not actually disappointing anyone. That doesn't belong to us, as Niobe was saying. People are responsible for their own reactions to things. And in the beginning, this can feel pretty uncomfortable. I know it really was for me. Yet my happiness meter just gets broader and broader. And I find my relationships with people, actually, some of them weren't what I thought, where I thought people were going to get really upset with me. Didn't at all. Others did. So it's the opportunity for the choice again, but it builds me up. I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm flourishing. And as you both said, if the well is empty, there's nothing left to give to myself or to anybody else. So it's kind of pointless, really, isn't it?
I think that we have friends listening that haven't given themselves permission to stop and think about what they're feeling about it, that they've just gone with the flow year after year after year. And maybe it's time that they give themselves permission to say, boy, if I could do whatever I wanted to do this year at Christmas, what would I do? Would I stay home? Maybe I would do the same things that we've always done, but at least then it's my choice rather than feeling like it's just put upon me to do it over and over.
Yeah, and maybe take the pressure off too, Ruth, because Christmas is getting the holidays, it's not just Christmas, is it? There are beautiful holidays celebrated. They're getting pretty close. So maybe even give yourself permission to say, well, this year I may not be comfortable with that, but I'm going to start setting that up for next year. So the pressure's off. You might find you do come out and say what you really want to do this year. But if you don't, it's not like, oh, it didn't work, so now I feel really bad about myself on top of it. Give yourself a break. Just take it a step at a time. There's no finishing line. Just be good to you. And sometimes being good to us is giving ourselves a bit more time to figure out what's going to work for us and planting the seeds throughout the year.
Anayah, something you said made me think about this. Just in our own family here with Enlightened World, we've had several deaths of family members and friends, and how difficult it is, really the first time you go through the holidays after a death. But what an important time to really figure out how you're feeling about, do I want to go be with all of these people right now? Or is the wound feeling just so huge that I would just be so much better off at home in the quiet? So really giving yourself permission to take stock of how you're doing emotionally before you make those decisions too.
And acknowledging how you feel. Last year, I just felt this overwhelming sadness. And part of me was so critical about that because I know they're fine. I know they're having a beautiful life. They're still living, not in a physical form as we know it. And yet I still felt quite critical about myself. And I had to come to that point. And I'd love to know if you other beautiful women have experienced any of this, where I had to be okay if I needed to cry, to just cry and be okay with the fact that I just needed to cry in that moment. I was really missing my family in heaven. And it's okay to miss them. And it could be anything. It could be a divorce, a separation. It could be anything, couldn't it? Custody issues. There's a lot that goes on in people's lives.
Absolutely.
The first Christmas after my partner died back in 1998, it was very quiet Christmas, but I found that I went off to a certain part of the house just to be alone, to be by myself, because everything just seemed sort of surreal. And it was surreal, because it was hard to describe, when it's a loss like that, it's hard to describe. But I went off and I took care of myself. And then I came back. It was a small family gathering, very, very small, just my kids and their grandparents. And but then I came back and it was all right. But and that's the thing that you can do too. If you're at a family gathering, just go off in a bedroom, go off somewhere and breathe and bring yourself back together. Go acknowledge your feelings, separate yourself and acknowledge yourself somewhere else. And then you can take a deep breath in and okay, we go back in, and then you can just also watch and observe. And that can be quite entertaining when you're just coming in from the watcher perspective.
Yeah, and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really beautiful. That's great advice.
Yes, I love that. And it's also an opportunity to remember those that are no longer with you. So, just sitting in your alone time and remembering them, and maybe writing a letter to them, or just writing out your thoughts about what it was like when they were there, and making it, a happy memory time. It doesn't have to be sad, but that sadness is perfectly okay if that's what comes up too, because it's coming up for a reason. It's coming up to be healed. So yeah, whatever happens, it's okay. And I really like the idea of just stepping away, because many family gatherings, if they were anything like the family gatherings we had, there was always chaos and everybody was always, doing busy stuff. So it's always good to find that spot where you can walk away, or you can go for a walk, or whatever it takes, and just have some quiet time. I love that. I love quiet time at the holidays, and just getting into the feel of what it's all about. What is the reason we're celebrating? Many people don't even know. They just know they're cooking a big meal and, everybody's getting together. But what's the real reason? And start thinking about that, and really celebrating the season.
I'm really excited this year as well, because I have grandchildren. So I have, these beautiful young children in my world, and thinking about because they're 4 and 7, what is it I want to teach these amazing young children? And so for me, it's only what I've decided to do. I've decided for their Christmas gift this year, we are going to restore someone's sight. And so I'm going to get them, those sleep masks? I'm going to get a sleep mask for each of them, one at a time actually, and put it on them just for a few minutes and give them an opportunity to see what it's like for people who don't have any vision. And I can feel my dad with me. He loves the idea. And just give them that choice to know that, holidays isn't necessarily about gifts that we can receive. What gifts can we give in a way that feels really wonderful in the world, And so for me, that's another thing this year that I'm really thinking about with the kids. It could be a child who isn't in your family. It could be, you know, under the wishing tree, if your department store has a wishing tree. There's lots of ways that we can actually give to others as a way of giving to the world and helping us all come closer together as a global unified family.
It's a beautiful idea. So, ladies, you have prepared for us a sound healing mantra meditation, and I'm so looking forward to it. But I just want to remind folks, and for some of those who don't know, the reason that we all know each other is because we all did a summit together, and that summit was about walking with spirit. That summit was knowing the spiritual divinity and bringing it into our daily lives, to a point that we all talk about it out loud to other people. So it's love in action, divine love in action. And so that's what grounds us all with each other here. And so I'd like to take some time now and let's do that sound healing and mantra meditation. And remember that we are here with the spiritual divinity. We do have this beautiful place of healing here in the ethereal realm with Divine Mother. So as you are hearing this meditation, really sink into it and really see if you can feel the presence of the spiritual divinity or of the healing pool. And so with that, ladies, please.
I've actually forgotten who's going first.
I think Niobe is.
It's me. Oh, everyone who's with us, allow yourself to just let the sound, let the words, let the vibration of the sounds come into your heart and bathe your being. And just let love shower down, shower within you and all around you. Ladies,
I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I deserve.
I deserve.
I deserve.
I let it go.
I let it go.
I let it go. Dako sautori de epetishina. Doko etesi etishina. Doko este etishina.
I allow love.
I allow love.
I allow love.
I am motivated.
I am motivated.
I am motivated.
I am valuable.
I am valuable.
I am valuable.
I am happy with who I am.
I am happy with who I am.
I am happy with who I am. Who I am. To ere eto shuto kupita ere I. Kata no ko da la da la da la da la. Do da la da la da la. Te ke tasha topo te tero oishi te ke daishi. To o lais te ko tsutaki. Tokala aisi toru shipi na ate. Toko tisi shirota alakate. Toko tisi shirota alakate. Tupu wa tuwa. Tupu wa tuwa.
I am in the moment, right here, right now.
I am in the moment, right here, right now.
I am in the moment, right here, right now.
I give myself permission to take care of myself.
I give myself permission to take care of myself.
I give myself permission to take care of myself.
I am love.
I am love.
I am love. I am love. I am love. All of me is love. From within through without. All of me is love. All of me is love. All of me. Tukore shatara kara kitadan. Kudera kara katiteradan. All of me is love.
May I be peaceful.
May I be happy.
May I be well.
May I be safe.
May I be free from suffering.
May all beings be at peace.
May all beings be happy.
May all beings be well.
May all beings be safe. Breathe in, beloveds. Breathe in the love that we have shared in this meditation and mantras. The sound, the words, the vibrations. Allow them to fill you and vibrate into every cell and particle of your being, of your heart, and of your energy. Knowing that these are constantly with you. Spoken word, intention equals change. This evening, we are love, and we are and have been changed. Thank you all so much for listening to our sound and mantra meditation. Namaste.
Namaste.
Ladies, that was beautiful. And I know, Niobe, you have like not podcast, but you sell your music, is that right?
On my website. On my website, I have 3 CDs on my website.
Okay.
And I just finished getting the labeling 5 CD.
Okay. And what is your website, Niobe?
It's niobeweaver.com.
Okay. And Teri, I know that you have meditations up. How do people get to hear your meditations?
I have a YouTube channel, which is called Angel Speakers. My website is angelspeakers.com, and there is a link on that website. If you click on the YouTube, it'll take you right to my channel.
Okay. And Anayah, how do people get to hear, your meditations, or is that just for us?
No, they do. Angel-777.com. If you just look around the tabs on the menu, you'll find angel meditations and energy clearings. And these meditations are really not for me, to be honest. They've generally come through when I've been live on air. And so I've created them as little MP3 so people can easily listen to them. They're really beautiful.
I would like you ladies actually to create an MP4 of what you just did. So we can have that on Enlightened World, and you can all have that on your site. So I'd like you to think about that, if you don't mind. So,
got it.
Yeah. It was beautiful. So Deb, do you want to share with us what's happening over in Facebook? I'm guessing we've got some friends with us.
Yes, we have some friends with us. Carol Ann says, beautiful messages, lady. I'm loving listening to all of you. Thank you. Ivana is on, and she said it's true what you say about the traditions of Italian family with food and gift giving, and that she somewhat changed it a bit by having the courage to speak up and say that she could not exchange with everyone, and that she'd rather have a gathering where everyone brings something and that they make memories. So they make gingerbread homes, play cards, games, sing together, and have someone dress up as Santa and make a showing for the young ones, which I thought was just awesome. An awesome transition into a new tradition. Kimberly's on, and she said that in her case, that she's now the one who puts on traditional family Christmases, and that she's still following her parents' original schedule because they're 92 and 94. So she said she's still stuck in the thick of feeling pressured to follow what Dad wants, but also trying to integrate a more loving environment where we can just be loving and accepting of all versus the traditional dynamic where dad leads all the conversations, grilling everyone in the family about accomplishments or non-accomplishments, etc. So they are trying to change things, but she said it's not easy, but her kids are appreciative of what she's doing. And Linda Dirks is on, and she said you can't be responsible for other people's reactions. Only they are responsible for the way they feel. And if you want to make everyone happy, you become a marionette, as others always pulling your strings, not being in your own truth and authenticity. So all the stuff that you were talking about. And Ivana says, yes, Teri, absolutely, making everyone happy is exhausting. And Carol Ann mentioned that watcher perspective is amazing. And as you watch, you are more aware of your internal thoughts and memories. I think Niobe was talking about that. And everyone really liked your beautiful sound healing and mantra meditation. And so did I. I could feel spiritual energy just going through me, and it was beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
You know, one of my teachers, his name's Kyle Cease, and something that he said came into my head. So I just wanted to share it with you. No one broke your heart. They broke your expectations. And I would say to anybody listening right now, it's okay to break the expectations that somebody else has of you and recalculate what those expectations might look like in a way that works for all of you. So I guess you've been given permission to shake things up a little bit and do things differently this holiday season. So ladies, do you have anything else that you would like to share tonight before we say our goodnights?
I would just like to say, life is short, so live every moment. Cherish those that you have, that you are around, and make sure you give them a hug and tell them that you love them. We don't say it often enough. So anytime that you are at a gathering and it's people that you do feel that way about, I'm not saying to just say it, but if you care about them, let them know. And give them that hug. Make memories. That's what it's all about.
Sweet. Anayah, anything else for tonight?
Yeah, thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Teri. For me, it would be, okay, so let's say you're wanting to make some changes and it doesn't happen this year. Be okay with that. If you can, let go of the guilt if you don't speak up when you want to, because that makes it much more difficult in the future. The guilt is a burden that only we can place on ourselves. And I heaped myself with guilt, heaped for many, many years. And the freedom of not doing that is wonderful. So if it doesn't quite work out the way you wanted to this year with regards to what you want to say, what you want to do, that's okay. It's just a moment, like Oprah says. It's just a moment. Just allow yourself to move into it at your pace in a way that you can manage. It's perfect for you if you choose it, and just be okay with it and remember how amazing you are, and all your choices will serve you in one way or another.
Nice. Niobe.
What keeps coming is well, first of all, Teri and Nay and Ruth, thank you so much for this evening, and Deb for being our stream keeper and our intention setter. What comes is I keep seeing a woman looking in the mirror. She's getting ready to go to an event, or she's at the event. And to look in the mirror and love yourself. Look in the mirror, and it doesn't matter what you've got on, how your hair is, okay, so you're stunning. Maybe you don't think you're stunning. What it is look in the mirror and look in your eyes. Look at the beauty and the spark of the divine that is within your eyes. Put your hands on your heart and say, I love you unconditionally. And I'm here to be me. I'm going to be me. I'm here to be me. And I'm just, if we express love, if we look at ourselves in the mirror and we say, I love myself, I love who you are. And you're going to walk out of that bathroom. You're going to walk in to go into the car to go to the event, or walk out of that bathroom that you're at the event. I love who I am. I love you. You're here. You're great. You look wonderful. And I love you no matter what's going on. And when you walk out of that bathroom, I walk away from that mirror, you're going to be shining that. It's going to be in your energy field. And honestly, it's like a deflector. It's kind of like a superpower. You just claimed your superpower in the mirror of yourself, of loving and the divinity and the light within you that no one can touch. And then you can go have a good time. So go claim your superpower before you go to the event, or if you're at the event. Claim your superpower of loving you. That's what came to me.
I love that. That's great. And I would like to remind you all, if prayer or meditation is a part of your everyday activity, keep that up during the busy times of the holiday, maybe even more so, because having that time to connect in with yourself, going inward and upward, connecting with your source, your spiritual divinity, will help keep you grounded, will help keep you coming from a place of love for yourself and others. So don't forget to make you and your spiritual practice an important part of this holiday time. So thank you all for being with us. Let me tell you about next week. Next week, we're going to be meeting on Sunday, the 17th at 6:00 p.m. Mountain Time. And we touched upon some of these topics tonight. The show is called Transmuting Grief Through Oneness with Spirit. So we will be talking about grief and loss, not just death of a loved one. It could be, as you said, divorce. It could be a custody issue. It could even be loss of physical health. So there's a lot of things that could be bringing on grief at the holidays. So we're going to be spending time connecting with each other about that next week. So thank you all. Niobe, Deb, Anayah, Teri, I love you all. I'm so glad you're here with us to go through this tonight. So to everybody else, we say good night, God bless, and we'll see you on Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you.